Hey everyone, Pastor Joe here, and I wanted to take a few moments to share with you the ways that we are preparing to gather both virtually and in person together on September 5th. This is going to be the first of many videos that we'll be releasing between now and September 5th. We're going to talk about the hows and the whats, which I think are a lot of the questions that we have. But I wanted to spend today talking a little bit about the principles, the values behind all that we're doing. I was thinking about a recent trip that my family and I took to Washington, D.C. It was a couple years ago. And it was a return home of sorts. Joanne and I had got married in Washington, D.C. We had lived there the first couple years after we got married. I had lived in D.C. A couple times before that, different lengths of time. Had a lot of fond memories. A lot. We entered that trip with excitement, ready to revisit those places that we had loved, those restaurants, the museums, to see people that we missed, to be part of that community again. And we realized pretty quickly on this most recent trip that it wasn't going to be like that. Some of our favorite restaurants weren't there. The neighborhoods had completely changed. The people had changed. We were different people. Coming back and revisiting, it took some time to catch up on where we were. The situations had changed. And I think that that's something that I am thinking about as we prepare to come back into this building for those of you who are local, as we build this new community of both virtual and in-person together. It won't be the same. It can't be the same. And yet we all bring with us our expectations of what it will be like when that day comes. So let me start by saying this. We will hold the safety of our community as our highest value. We trust that God's love, God's Spirit does connect us from wherever we are. We don't have to be in the same space. We choose to come together in community, and we will choose to do it safely. So on September 5th, for those who will be coming in person, know this: we will require everyone to be wearing masks, vaccinated or not. We recognize that there are those in our population, in our community, especially our kids who are under 12, who can't yet be vaccinated. And so for the safety and well-being of all people, masks will be required in the building. Here's another thing. We won't be asking for your vaccination status. We want you to be safe. We encourage you to get vaccinated. We hope you will get vaccinated, but we won't ask you. What we will ask you is if you are not feeling well, if you feel like you have symptoms, if you don't feel well enough to be around other people, please be wise and out of an abundance of caution, stay home. We have upgraded our technology in part for that reason. As we build this new community of both in-person and virtual, we're going to be caring for the needs of an even wider breadth of community, including those who will be joining from homes, from houses, from apartments, people who are joining us from vacation, people who don't live in the Puget Sound region. Together, we make up this beautiful community, and so we encourage you to stay home if you're not feeling well. And here's a third thing I want to share with you today. If you are serving in leadership, if you will be somebody who is reading and speaking, if you are somebody who will be greeting, if you'll be somebody who will be in our choir or our worship ensemble or working with our children, in those cases, if you are serving, we will then ask for you to be vaccinated. Okay? And so these are some of the things that are going to ground who we are. John Wesley speaks about do no harm, do good, stay in love with God. And we want to hold that as our principle, guiding us as we build this community together. Do no harm. And so again, we're going to ask for masks. We're going to ask that you stay home and join in virtually if you are not feeling well. And if you are serving, we do have a higher bar that we ask that you are vaccinated, because you'll be working on behalf of our church, creating community and being part of the team that allows for welcoming and belonging to happen. There's going to be many more of these videos. The next one will be on Friday, where we'll talk a little bit more about the hows and whats. Next week, we'll continue those conversations. But in the meantime, I want to invite you and encourage you to please keep our church and our leadership in your prayers. These aren't easy decisions. These aren't decisions that we make on a whim. There's a lot of factors, and frankly, with the rise of cases in the Delta variants, we are cautious. But for now, we will be looking to September 5th as the first day of this next phase in the life of our community, as we welcome people both in person and online virtually as we worship together as a whole. So join me in keeping our community in your prayers, and stay tuned for the next video on Friday.